All right, we're live. Welcome to the laundromat. We are doing a live show from the Marion laundromat. Just kidding. The dryer it's the dryer, right? The washer is a loud. It's a good washer, but it's very loud, and it's down the hallway outside the kitchen. It's so loud you can hear it in here, and you shouldn't be able to. If you want the truth, you should not be able to hear this thing, but you can hear it. Jessica Harris is already in the house saying hi. Hey, Jessica Harris, how are you? Always good to see you. We love her to pieces. Glad you could stop by. Welcome, everyone, one and all. Tonight, we have an interesting topic. So you want to stick around for this one because it could get crazy. And this time, we're not talking about Bigfoot having an affair with the alien bunch in Wisconsin. Not this time. This time, we're talking about family plus Christmas, or Christmas plus family equals chaos. Now, come on, let's be real about this. Some of the biggest fights and craziness in the world happen to families during Christmas. If you're honest with yourself, that happens. It may not happen every year, but it's happened. They make movies about this stuff. How does that happen? I hope you like the hat tonight. I was feeling the groove for this hat. I've been made fun of a lot in this hat. I like it. Not being made fun of, but I like the hat. I have one like this, and I have one that is camouflaged. And they both serve me well when I'm hiding from, when I'm trying to camouflage myself around people who wear hats like this. I blend in. Yes, I'm also wearing the Where's Waldo shirt from our Virginia Beach video back in May. The Where's Waldo shirt has been put up for many months, and I'm getting it out again just for this video. So I'll blend in with everything behind me. Where's Waldo, Bill? Good to see everybody tonight. Be sure that while you're here, I got one of these. Carolyn said I need to do this. I don't know why I would need to do that. Okay, all right, fine, whatever. And so I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start wearing makeup apparently because everybody's saying that the lighting that I'm using, it creates this situation with my eyes. And the reason why we know that it's the lighting, and I love playing the strobe lights with the light. But the reason why we know it's the lighting is because if you watch my video, and I know you haven't yet because of our analytics. I released a video this morning around 8 o'clock, and it was about Carolyn and I going to Massanutten. You need to check out that video if you love beautiful images of snow and driving in the snow. You need to check that out because it's absolutely beautiful. Bryn G has checked it out because she is a loyal and faithful subscriber. Bryn G, good evening, kind people. My South Carolinian friend, Bryn G. Glad to have you aboard tonight. Family, friends, and chaos. Or no, family, Christmas plus family equals chaos. Do you know I actually thought about writing that whole thing out like an algebraic expression? And then I got bored with it. Big Frog, barbecue and cooking. Hi, Mr. Bill. Hello, Big Frog. Good to see you. Dennis Jackson says, I watched it already. I know, Dennis, because you're a loyal and faithful subscriber. I appreciate that. For those of you who didn't, I want you to feel the shame right now. Feel the shame. I'm kidding. When you get to it when you can. If you love beautiful images of snow and the Appalachian Mountains and the Northern Appalachian Mountains, you really enjoy that video. But tonight, the discussion that we're going to begin with, as I was telling D-Lo earlier, you know, he asked me through the messages there on the advert that I posted on my main page. He's like, what are we going to talk about tonight? And I said, well, most of the time it does devolve into aliens and Bigfoot. But we're going to start with family plus Christmas equals chaos. Why? Why is it that when families get together, seriously, families that get together, it breaks out into chaos? Accusations, somebody gets mad, and things that are thrown up from 20 years ago that people don't get over. Whatever the case is. And so we're going to workshop this a little bit, but we're going to start by talking about the obvious things that we don't think about when it comes to family get-togethers in general. And a lot of times for many, many, many years, those things that take place at Christmas. Now, let me explain why. So you haven't seen your family. You live 500 miles or 300 miles or 100 miles, 50 miles away from your family. Maybe you just live a few blocks away, but you don't see each other much. And you wait until Christmas to do that. That is the get-together. And because you don't get to make the summer get-togethers for some reason. But Christmas, you like, okay, I got to do this. And other family members are saying the same thing. Okay, I put this off long enough. We got to have a get-together. I want to see my peeps. As my son would say it, I need to get my smells. I don't know where he got that, but, you know, he'll come into the house and he'll go, home. You know, there's just this thing. And we even moved, and he still feels it. He'll say, I got to go to Virginia to get my smells, my childhood smells. And I always thought that was the sweetest thing that Nathan says that. It's just wonderful. And I'm sure the girls say it too in their own way, because you got to go home every now and then and see your old peeps to remind yourself. Sometimes it's an humbling situation where you're going home to remember, you know, your roots, remember where you came from. It's important. It's a part of our development is to know our family. But it doesn't always work that way, right? Now, come on, let's be real. It doesn't. You have the expectations and the buildup, not necessarily of Christmas. Christmas gets such a bad rap for people talking about how much of a letdown it is. The reality of it is that a lot of our expectations are set on our families. And so we drum this up in our head about what it's supposed to be. I'm guilty too. Not realizing that a lot of time passes. There's these huge increments between times in which you see your family. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, even 6 months is a lot. People change, people evolve, and sometimes they stay the same, but you haven't stayed the same. Or maybe you've stayed the same and they've evolved. And then you get back together. Hello, Billy at Strong's Adventures. Good to see you. We're talking about chaos and family and get-togethers. And sometimes you get together on those Christmas moments, and then all of a sudden, what happens? What takes place in those times? You're having to readjust and relearn and reevaluate your role with that other person. And it could have changed from the last time that you've seen each other. You could have matured. They could have matured. And getting back on track is difficult. Think about it. If you take a new job, it's hard to kind of fit in and know where you belong. And it takes hard work and sweat and determination and dedication. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, you're a little better. A year, you're a little better. And what is a job but learning relationships and how to get along and things like that? That's all a part of our people skills. But when we only get around our family every 6 months, every 12 months, we don't have enough time to make those adjustments, not realizing that everybody should have changed. I mean, if they're halfway healthy people, they should have changed. Or if you're halfway healthy and they're not, you've changed. And so we put a lot of expectation on those get-togethers at Christmas time. And really, I think a part of it is lowering the expectation. I really do, of understanding you haven't seen them and cutting them some slack and giving them room to realize that they've grown and being merciful when they don't give the same to you. Giving mercy to people in the family that's had a rough year since the last time you've seen them. Bobby lost his job. Susan's left her husband, and the kids are giving them fits and all that stuff, and being merciful enough just to be there and let them have that moment without embarrassment. Let them have that moment without shaming them or whatever, or being shamed. And remember that going into the holidays is that if you look at your expectations when you have these get-togethers, and I know it's 2020, I get it, but the expectations, you got to lower them just a little bit and be a little bit more forgiving and giving. In 2020, we're probably not going to have as many get-togethers, right? I mean, even if you're ignoring everything or whatever, don't support, overall, we're going to have fewer get-togethers. I think what's going to come out of this, some good that will come out of this, is people are going to want to crave to be around their family more in the years to come. At least I'm hoping so. Let's check into some of the comments and see if they're even related to what I'm talking about. Jessica Harris, what's your favorite VeggieTales movie? Okay, they're not related to what I've been talking about. But maybe they are, Jessica, in the sense that if you watch the VeggieTales, you learn good lessons of how to get along with other people through God's word. Amen. And I could sing the song right now. Justin Thornton says, good evening, with an exclamation point, which means it's a really good evening. Reclaim your life. Hey, what's up, Toby? Great hat. Would be good for your hiking. Here's why it's not. That's why I bought this hat. But as I sweat, it does this. And it loses its shape. And it gets filthy dirty. And it was going to get ruined if I kept bleaching it. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, that's what it was bought for. And Jessica Harris says, well, you were talking about family, and I'm with family. We're about to watch VeggieTales for old time's sake. There you go. Honey, you can comment however you want to. You can say whatever you want in our comments. We're just glad you're commenting. But, yeah, family chaos is very normal. It's very normal. I talk to a lot of people throughout the year having issues in their family. They'll call and they'll say, man, we're getting together again. I need you to pray for me. I'm kind of worried because mom and so has been into it. Everywhere I look for the past 20 years in ministry, people have issues during the holidays with their family at some kind of level. College kids do this too, because college kids they'll kind of be figuring life out. And then when they go home, they feel like they've had a setback because their parents are still treating them the same way that they did when they left home. And sometimes college kids think, they've got it all figured out. There's nothing worse than like a sophomore in college going home and telling their grandparents the real story of American history. Don't do that. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. your grandparents and your parents have forgotten more than you'll ever know. So it's better sometimes just to stay to stay cool. Billy at Strong's Adventure says, Rhonda and my parents are older and they don't understand why we don't come over as much as we used to because of, well, you know why. Yeah. And they, in this time period, there's that. You're trying to be loving and friendly, but normally, Billy, it's the opposite. The people that watch Fox News all day and MSNBC, I'm not picking on any channel in particular, they are very fearful and or stirred up into wrath. And so I'm surprised that it's just that and not, angry and things. Reclaim Your Life says last family get together was a real Jerry Springer. You see what I'm talking about right here? I'll share the details with you privately sometimes. It's like, and we get it. Carol and I get it. We had fireworks last Christmas, and like seriously, fireworks. It was awful. Everybody went home early. This is in my own home. This is Bill Marion Family 5. And what happened? We added. I want you to check this out. We added because I always say Marion, and this is from my perspective. Watch how crazy what I'm about to say is going to get. We always called ourselves Marion 5. I don't know why. It was before the Maroon 5. I didn't steal it from Maroon 5. It's our thing, okay? But we called ourselves the Marion 5. It's me, Carolyn, Anna, Nathan, Crystal, the Marion 5. We even had shirts made up, man. I'm serious. Tight family, family of 5, family first, all that stuff. And it was great. And I know they won't mind me sharing this, but sometimes it doesn't feel like the family of 5 unless it's like the Jackson 5. You know what I'm saying? And I could not get my kids to do what I told them to when it comes to dancing. I tried to be Michael Jackson's daddy. I'd be like, Nathan, you better get that dance move right. And he'd be like, whatever, Dad. Anyway, let me get to the point. The point is that the family of 5 the Marion family of 5 became the Marion family of 6. And that was this past November in Colorado. I married Anna and Oz. But that's not the Marion 6. It's actually the Marion 2. It's Anna and Oz. But when Anna comes home for Christmas or the holidays and Oz is there, we're getting to know Oz. He's a great guy. We love him to pieces. But when he's there, it's like, now you got to learn what you can say and not say he's learning to say. And it's a dance and you're trying to figure things out. So you've got to give that person room to grow and whatnot. But from a daddy, the patriarch of this, that's what we call it. The patriarch of this, it's like, we're the Marion 6. But then Anna and Oz step up and say, no, we're actually the Marion 7 because Anna is pregnant. Booyah, I'm going to be a granddad. So now we got to make shirts that say the Marion 7, only that it can be a little offensive, isn't it? Because it's not the Marion 7. It's the Marion, actually the Osmeti, because his last name is Osmeti. And did I get that right? No, its first name's Osmeti. It's Perez. Hello, Bill. His last name's Perez. Sorry. No disrespect. It's Osmeti Perez is his name. And so it's actually the Perez family of 3, right? You following me? But then you can, and I'm just making this up, but then the friction begins if suddenly I'm adopting that as this belongs to me. And it's like, no, it belongs to Oz, and that's his family. I hope y'all are saying what I'm saying. Mike Mills says, what's up from Corbin? Good to see you, Mike Mills. I'm wondering if there are a lot of mills in Knox County and they're in between Corbin and Barberville. So I always wonder, do I know him? Because it's Mike Mills in Corbin. Bridgie says holidays can be stressful for a lot of people and on edge already if there are even tiny little hard feelings where the floodgates open. That's why you got to deal with the feelings when they happen as opposed to storing them in. But that's a whole other level of discussion. My hat has lost shape here, my Union College hat. That's a whole other level of discussion. As Christians, a lot of times, if you believe in Christ as your Savior, a lot of times we're supposed to adopt the teachings of Christ. And that's not just passive. Like, we're supposed to model the behavior of Christ. And sometimes we forget the fact that there's certain people, even family, you need to avoid. Not all get-togethers should be mandatory. Sometimes we have this guilt about going to certain family, and if you're around people that tear you down constantly, and you've tried to connect with them in love, you've tried to confront them in love, but it's not happening, man, it's better just to say, we're staying at home. We're just staying at home because the connection isn't there. Just let it go. Sometimes when you let it go, it can come back, and it's better. You know how all that works. Brengie says, So true. Mike Mill says, yes, my family is from Barberville. B-Town representing in the chat room. Barberville is a unique place. It's one of the most unique places I have ever been. It is an interesting place, historical place. We had a bunch of governors come from Barberville. It was likely that I was going to spend my entire life in Barberville, and may have done just that. If some things hadn't changed just a little bit, I would have stayed. Reclaim Your Life says, boundaries, good fences make good neighbors or family members. I completely agree. You know, raise your own kids, things like that. I could go on and on with that, but most people know this stuff. It's implementing it. That's the hard part. How do you implement? Most people have read good books. They listen to good podcasts. It's getting them to that next step where you make those decisions. I was in my 30s when I started making those decisions to say, okay, there's got to be some boundaries here. There's got to be some language that's off limits. And then I found myself in like a 7 or 8 year time period where I was a smart aleck around family members trying to establish those, which was a real eye roll for them. And I'm sure it was. And looking back, they probably weren't the problem. It was me. Are you following what I'm saying? It's delicate. It's delicate. Dennis Jackson said, Teresa said that's one way of talking about Barberville. I would have lived there forever. Coached football there, one of the middle school teams, and then high school for a few years. Back to middle school a few years. I had the privilege of beating Bell County in a middle school game as a coach. A helping coach, assistant head coach there, and I think they turned the scoreboard off at 86 points. It's a great night. It's a great night. Juan Thomas says, hello, Mr. Bill and Carolyn. Greetings, Juan Thomas. Greetings, Juan Thomas. But I'm very thankful that you guys have joined us tonight. Also, and just to plug this real quick while you guys are here, be sure to watch our other video that we put out this morning. That other video is covered. We drive around in the snow. We have the 4x4 kicked in, and we go up to Massanutten to the ski resort. It's not open yet. Nobody's skiing yet, but they got the snow going, and it's just poured the snow here. You're going to see some beautiful scenery, and it's absolutely breathtaking, and it's a lot of fun. So check that out. Check that out. And one more thing. The week, like a couple of days before the New Year's, I'm going to release a video. It's called Hindsight is 2020. It is a bloopers/rewind video. You need to watch this. I've even included bloopers of Carolyn's this year. She's going to be really mad when she watches it. Yes. She's going to be frustrated. She doesn't know I'm doing it. So you guys are going to see. She knows I'm doing it. She doesn't know what all I'm putting in there, because I think you guys will love it. Because she's always worried about her hair and all this stuff. I'm like, stop. People just love you. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to like it. I'm actually adding stuff that I've never really added before, beginning with Carolyn, and then just some other stuff, just some silliness that goes on. And then, of course, some other funny stuff from videos that did make the cut, but you may have missed it. And so it may end up being about 30 minutes long. So you guys want to plan to see that. I'm going to premiere it I thought about premiering it New Year's Eve. And then I thought, man, that's kind of heavy. I thought, okay, no, I can't do that. We have a watch night service at the church that I'm really excited about. It's going to be a great, great night. But I'm thinking about doing the night before, doing a premiere the night before New Year's Eve. So you guys want to write that down. Renji said, do you have a dog outside? I can't have pets. This is something we don't talk about.
No, do you have a dog house? In other words, you just got.
I left out a word. Okay, do you have a dog house outside? No, I'm thinking about building one. I think Carolyn's going to send me to Lowe's after this live stream. No, I'm kidding. She's a participant, and she trusts me. I mean, when we go do stuff, a lot of what we do, you guys know this, is scripted. Now, it's fun. It's a lot more fun if you don't know that sometimes. But it's stuff that we come up with that we think would be funny. And the easiest example, because I think Jessica asked us about this at church, we just mentioned the video that I made where I said this one got me in trouble. It's not that I actually got in trouble on that particular trip. It's a summary of many trips that I've taken over the years where I come home and there's damage to one of our vehicles, whether it was the old Blazer or one of the Blazers or one of the Tauruses that we used to drive, where I would go to Lost Creek there in Tennessee or out Sequatchie County and just beat the snot out of one of our vehicles, which, she'd just look at it and she was like, I have to drive that too. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And you have the redneck pinstripes going down the sides, flat sides and flat tires, and things dripping underneath the engine that weren't dripping underneath the engine. It's a whole lot of fun. Reclaim Your Life. Toby says, yes, we love Carolyn and tolerate Bill. That's the story of my life, Brother Toby. You know, they say that in the Bible that talent opens doors for you. Well, actually, it's my wife. she has been wonderful in my life. But that's all the more reason why I want to showcase at different aspects of who she is. Things that aren't scripted that I just find hysterical. You know, she'll be about to say a line that we've come up with. Like I'll tell her, and I don't want to give anything away, but I'll like just say hi or something. You know, you look cute. I'm thinking you look so adorable or something like that in my head, and she knows that. And just what she goes through for that one word, hi. Not realizing I'm trying to capture the exact moment that we're in. I'm like, I don't want all that, but she don't care. It's like, stop, I've got to do this. And she goes through all this stuff, and I'm over there dying laughing. It's a whole lot of fun. Juan Thomas says, we need a white Christmas. That's the only gift I want. Juan says, the chaos of family greetings can come together, provided that there's a white Christmas. You know, we almost had one. I would love for the weather to change. I don't see it in the forecast, but I didn't see this past snow either. And we got a good snow. Carol and I, we are planning to go to West Virginia tomorrow. I'm going to give you a hint. We're going to another ski resort. It happens to be related to a shoe. I will let you guess which ski resort we're going to. We're actually driving straight there. We're not taking mountain roads or anything like that. We've never seen it in operation. I have to do some web searching after this. After we're done with this video, I have to do some scrambling online to see whether or not that's feasible, like what they're doing there before I go. And I'm going to bring that to you in the next following days in another Vlogmas video. We have caught up now. We were 4 Vlogmas videos behind. We're caught up because the last time I checked, it's the 17th, right? And this is Vlogmas 17. Strong's Adventure says, Carolyn Marion, we know you're the brains of the operation. I'll tell you what she is. Carolyn is very good at spitting out ideas, like rapid fire ideas, which gets my brain going. It's very helpful. And she's a great producer. When Carolyn, this is true. When Carolyn's in, because she's not always in, you have to understand that Carolyn phases in and out. I always call her like the hidden executive producer. You know how you watch a television show and there'll be like 5 producers for one episode, and like the last 3 might change, you know, throughout the season. That's kind of Carolyn. She comes in as the executive producer on certain episodes. But here's the thing: in a lot of Carolyn's episodes that she's produced, that it's her idea, and she wants to execute it a certain way. The Chattanooga video is Carolyn's. If you watch the 10 lovable facts about Chattanooga, that is just about, other than me being, you know, on the video, because that's my job, Carolyn pretty much said, this is what we're going to cover in this amount of day, this amount of time. The problem that we had that day was, I don't know how hot it was, 97 degrees. Miserable. And we'd already lived in Virginia for a year or so. We were not used to. That's what I love about living in this part of Virginia. It doesn't get that hot, not compared to what I was used to down in Chattanooga. So going down there to Chattanooga, we were visiting Mom. There was a thing going on at Abba's house we wanted to go to, and we did a video there in Chattanooga. But we didn't get to go do all the things we wanted to do that may have made the video a little better because it was hot. But I think the last time I checked, I don't know what it is now, but it was at 30,000 views, which is great for our channel. It's phenomenal. And there's a few other videos like that have hit 25, 30,000 views, and that Carolyn actually produced. Bringy says, we hear you keeping him straight. There's always a good woman helping. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And like you said, sometimes Carolyn's good at just keeping me making videos when I burn out. You know, one word of encouragement sometimes from Carolyn will go a long way. The channel, and I've said this many times, and I'll say it again tonight because it's on topic, would not be possible. This channel would not be possible without my wife. I would have quit way before I ever became a partner, monetized and all that stuff. I would have quit because Carolyn enjoyed, for some reason, I don't know why. Even before we started running around and going everywhere, Carolyn actually bought me a new computer. Like, she went out, made sure I had a computer. And because when I opened this up, I think it was back in 2017, I opened it up and I almost started crying because I didn't want to spend the money. I was like, I'll take the gateway I'm using that's 85 years old. And she's like, you can't keep making videos on your cell phone. Because that's what I was doing. The first, 40 or 50 videos it was all on my cell phone. And you cannot be a YouTuber using your phone. You can start out that way. I'll put it to you this way, just a little.
Clarify, you were using it to also edit, because you're still using it.
Yeah, I was using it to edit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm sorry, you got a really good point. I was editing on my phone. Think about that. Because you can edit a little video on your phone, but I was doing 15 and 20-minute videos on my cell phone. Most people don't have the work ethic to make. They may have a work ethic, but to sit down and make 20-minute videos, the attention that takes, the attention span that takes. But let me just say this on a side note: if you are starting a YouTube channel or you have a YouTube channel, if you don't go through the process of writing in tags and doing all this, your channel is not going to accidentally explode and get big. That's never going to happen. Even if you capture that moment that aliens come down and abduct somebody and it's on your phone, and all of a sudden you have 25 million views, that'll be great, man. That'll get you partnered and everything else, but then your channel will crash, and the only thing you'll have going for you is that one video. The way the algorithm works, you have to do your tags. It's a must. You have to write a description, and it has to match the tags. And there's all these different little things that you have to do. There was a time years ago where you didn't have to do that stuff. And it's either that or your content has to be that good. But in the past 3 years, I've not seen a single channel, and I'm on YouTube all the time because I have to be. I've not seen a channel accidentally stumble up and become success. That just doesn't happen that way. You got to do the work. And if you're not doing the work, you're really what you're doing is you're using YouTube as a place to store things, which is really what I started out doing. I mean, honestly, I'd make family videos and upload them. And then I learned real quick. I thought, you know what? I may be onto something. Bryn G says, Bigfoot is going to be jealous. You are talking about aliens. Well, unless they're one of the same, Bryn G. A buddy of mine, I don't have permission to mention his name, and I don't want to be, I mean, he comes and chats with us. He's an expert in that area. And he and I both are convinced that Bigfoot, aliens, hauntings, all that stuff is sort of all in the same bag of cards. We're going to do me and this person, we're going to do a live stream together as soon as I figure it out. I've got to figure out how to do that. And he's more of an expert than I am on a Bigfoot. Like he's got a website. He's got people that follow him and all that stuff. He's a great guy too. He's a great Christian man. He's wonderful. Love talking to him. Love being around him. I've even made a video with him, and he takes the subject seriously, very seriously. He lectures at certain places, and it's interesting. And we have the same take on it from different perspectives. I got knee deep into aliens for a while with my eyes open and as a cynic, as somebody who is very skeptical, very like, I just want to see what's going on. And my eyes were not open to a cover up or anything like, yes, a cover up, but not to, oh my gosh, we're being invaded by Martians, but something much more sinister, much darker and evil. And I'm not wanting to get into that right now, but it's a lot worse. And I'll tell you what, if you watch the video that I made, what was it called? UFOs and Christians or UFOs and Christianity?
Maybe, I don't remember.
If you go to our search and just type in UFOs and watch it. Now listen, it's an early video, so there's cringe in it where I've learned to do different things now that there's things I would do now that I would have made the video better. And the narrative in the video is terrible. In other words, it isn't made well, but you'll get the gist of it, of what I'm trying to say now in that video. Strong's of Interest says, okay, talking about family get-togethers, he's giving me structure. He's giving me structure.
Oh, it's fun.
I would almost swear some of my cousins at some get-together are aliens. And the other ones are Bigfoot. The other ones are Bigfoot. That is so true. That is so true. You get together with some family members and you're like, what? And you guys can imagine this. I'm usually that family member that other people are saying, what? They're like, what is going on here? This guy talks entirely too much. Is he on something? Because I love to talk and love to joke around, and I'm socially awkward. And my wife knows this now. Like, this is written in stone. If I'm in a room full of people and the talking dies down, it bothers me. It's like, I want to go keep talking. Somebody has to fill in the dead space. Reclaim your life. Some of mine are Cheech and Chong. Yeah, I got a few of those too. And as time goes on, I think we're going to have more Cheeches and Chongs. Actually, the plural there would be Cheeches and Chong, maybe. Brent says, I think all families have at least one or two floating amongst everybody else. That used to be the case, Brent. There used to be like a token person that kind of was the whipping dog for problems, but they always brought a good joke at the right time. I think there's more probably now dysfunction. I don't know. We're entering an era now where I think people are a little more merciful with each other. But again, I think after 2020, people are going to be excited to get together again. I'm going to try to plan something in 2021. It's going to be very difficult because it's an awkward. Certain drives are easier to manage and whatnot. There's an awkward drive about it, but I'm going to try to visit my family in Michigan. I haven't seen them in a few years. My dad needs to go, so it's a big ordeal. I want my kids to go if they can go. If it's a big deal, or they can come here, but I want to see them, and we're all getting older. But again, we've all changed and matured and grown. And how do you reconnect where you're communicating? I'm glad I'm older, and I'm a lot more at peace now with myself, and a lot more at peace with other people, a lot more merciful now because of what Christ has done in my life. So it's easier for me to communicate with people now without putting some kind of demand of, you owe me some respect. All that's gone. It's more like, just talk. I just want to hear about your life. I just want to hear about who you are. I miss you, and I miss you being in my life. Toby at Reclaim Your Life says, Dave Ramsey says, every family has a crazy. If you don't know who it is, it's you. I think in my family, we had a few. I think there were a couple, and I had to have been one of them. I had to have been at multiple times in life. The problem with family is that when you start getting it together, family's the hardest ones to convince. And then when we're going through that process, we want to convince them, and that's not what you do. Convince with your action and your life. Don't try to convince them with rhetoric. That's the wrong thing. So I tell our young people all the time, convince people what you feel and what you believe with your actions. Don't try to convince them with rhetoric. I see people do this on Facebook all the time, and it's embarrassing. They want to correct. They want to correct, and they want to teach with blurbs. And it works sometimes. Sometimes you'll read something that's profound and it's moving you. And sometimes I'll read stuff and I'll just go, wow. If the person and you are on Facebook and you're both Facebook friends and they're reading that and they have any idea that it could possibly be them, it becomes manipulative. If y'all know what I'm saying, please tell me. But because it's almost like you're telling them without having to confront them. And that is opposite of what we are supposed to do according to Matthew 18 in the Word of God. We're not supposed to make a passive-aggressive statement trying to hint around. It's not what we do. We are transparent, authentic. And so sometimes that's how family members get in trouble too. Facebook has broken a lot of hearts. I'm telling you, you get like Christmas. You get together for Christmas and some idiot will post something on Facebook about like this. It'd be something like, sitting here with the family again and some things never change. I wish they would. Okay? This is actually a true story. Which is a mean statement, okay? They think they blocked all the other family members out, but they left one. And that one that they left goes around and tells everybody, would you look at what so-and-so posted? And then the family realizes that this person has blocked all of those other people, and now you got all kinds of offense and all kinds of anger. Common sense. Maybe you do wish things would change. Maybe they need to change. But why are you going to put that on Facebook for? What's it anybody's business? Why does the world need to hear about your family? You're hanging out their laundry. What is that? What purpose is that? To hang out somebody else's underwear? You know what I'm saying? You don't go. Carolyn, I say it all the time, but that's a hard step to take, is to say, I'm not going. Sometimes you need them, but you just want them to change. And it's frustrating. Is this helping anybody? Or are y'all crazy right now? They're like, why is he talking about this? Let's go back to aliens and Bigfoot. I'm going to tell you, it would have been good for me in my 20s to have this conversation, but I was that guy in the family and I wouldn't listen to anybody. I had great people in my family trying to reach out. I have a cousin of mine in Kentucky. He's older than me, but the wisdom that came out of that man's mouth, that had I listened to, I would be a multiple millionaire right now, but I was too dumb to listen. I was too dumb to understand the credibility he should have had in my life. And I talked about that Sunday night is about having the right critics. We always have hundreds and hundreds of critics, but I want qualified critics, not just critics. And people, qualified critics, you have to know something about where I'm going in order for me to authorize you to give me a criticism or provide a critique. You have to know something about me and where I'm going. Don't provide a free will, hyper spiritual critique of what I'm doing and who I am unless you know where I'm going and you know my relationship with God. You know something about my credibility at some level. You say, well, I can feel it and all this hyper spiritual stuff. I'm going to tell you something. A dead clock is right twice a day. A dead clock is right twice a day. Check yourself before you mess yourself. You always want to make sure that before you say what you're going to say, am I being passive aggressive? Am I trying to spout out my own insecurities, or am I really trying to shape something? When you're on Facebook, man, that's why you won't see us post anything on Facebook. If I'm going to say something into a camera, talk like this, I'm going to be blunt, I'm going to be me, but I'm going to try my best not to be mean. I'm going to try my best not to be mean and to be lighthearted and funny. Anywho, I just went on a rant. I just felt that rant. I felt my blood pressure go up trying to convey some truth during the holidays, Carolyn. Help me, help them. I'm just kidding. Dennis Johnson says, why does everybody want to post everything they do on Facebook? I don't know. That's one of the reasons I don't have Facebook. Dennis, that's back in 2007, I was wild about Facebook. My aunt had showed me Facebook over the holidays when it was brand new. She had just showed me Facebook. And having shown me Facebook, I took it down to Chattanooga, and we were like some of the first people in our huge network that got on Facebook. And for years, it was phenomenal. We loved it. And now it has become it's a juggernaut, obviously. It's Facebook. And it's been my experience that it's been great for getting the word out about something. If you have a concert or if you have something going on in church, it works. It's a great platform to get information out. But Facebook, increasingly, that we had a situation, literally 24 hours, that you're going, you're rolling your eyes because you don't know how to handle it and all this other stuff. But Facebook will find a way to intrude even into those groups and circles with something that they design. Facebook is a moneymaker. This is all about business. So they're going to find a way to make money. So they make money off your controversy, Dennis. When you have a controversy and you get something going and there's 800 billion likes, realize this, they are making money off people coming back again and again to see that strife that's being caused. So when you cause strife like that, I want to say something, I'm going to say to some preachers, I'm going to go, are you helping people or are you causing strife? There's a line there. There's a line. I haven't seen too many people come to the Lord through Facebook. I know that they do. Don't get me wrong. And I've had people contact me through Facebook, but at some point, and I've had to say this, people hurt their feelings, and then they walk away. As I'll say, listen, I enjoyed the fact that you want to come to me. I enjoy that. I think it's great that God's using me with you to this point. Let's meet, or let me find you a church. Especially on a YouTube channel, I get connected with a lot. People will say, hey, I'm having issues. Can you help me? But I always turn them towards a local pastor, always, so that they can get the right one-on-one that they're needing. I didn't know he was going to go here tonight. I feel better. Juan Thomas says, I don't do Facebook or Twitter. I only do those things now because, it helps with the church and it helps with the channel. Reclaim Your Life says, all SM is all S.
Social media.
All social media, okay, is marketing, nothing else. That's all I use it for. Because when I realized that, Toby, when I realized that it's all marketing, I said, okay, I'm going to market then. I'm going to use these tools for what they're really used for, and that's marketing what I'm doing, marketing what God has me doing. Billy at Strong's Adventure says, I just can't really do Facebook with family and close friends. I tell them all, if they want to know me and what Ron are doing, check out our YouTube channel. When Mom, and she's probably watching right now, she is, I love you, I'm so grateful, that we had a shtick going. And that was basically, as we were going up to Spruce Knob, she wasn't feeling well, neither was Dennis. I was so proud of them just for making it up here, And so when you watch that video, if you ever watch the video where Mom's there at Spruce Knob with us and Dennis, we always had fun together, Carolyn and myself, and then we love traveling together. We love being together. When they feel good, we feel good and all that stuff. And the running joke was Mom would say things like, well, have you ever tried to do Elvis on your channel? That was her running joke. And my running joke was anytime they asked me something about Spruce Knob, they know that on paper I'm supposed to be like a historian person. Every time they'd ask me, I'd say, and most of the time this was true too, I would say, well, you know what? I got a video about that. I'll send you a link. Every time I would just keep saying, I've got a video about that. So that's, essentially, if you want to know what we're up to, it's really easy. Go to YouTube. And Carol and I are very transparent, Billy, like you guys are. I know you and Ron are pretty much, that's who you are, is who you are on your channel. By the way, guys, he has a great channel. You need to check that out if you love cooking. I know that Reclaim Your Life is a phenomenal channel. Reclaim Your Life and also Strong's Adventures, both of those channels you need to add to your collection. Click the bell for notification too. Let me tell you why. Reclaim Your Life, it will help you. Podcasting format, two mighty men of God who are just wonderful. Listen to what things they have to say. Eat the meat, leave the bone. You're, like anything else, there's going to be stuff that you're like, I don't know. And then there's going to be stuff that you're going to be like, I never thought about that. Give those guys a chance. Billy at Strong's Adventures, you will get hungry. I'm just listening. Disclaimer there. You may gain weight. When I started watching Billy's channel, this is a true story. I weighed 25 pounds less than I do now. Okay, probably didn't have anything to do with Billy. Probably had everything to do with the fact that I started eating more. But nevertheless, you'll get hungry watching Strong's Adventures. He's got a great channel. And the way he invites, I like their editing style. I like just how they invite people to come into that situation where they're cooking. And you just feel like you're a part of the family. Anybody, I say this every time I talk about his channel, anybody that can bake something like pastries, like turnovers and stuff, that can use a fire and do that with a Dutch oven, to me, you should subscribe to their channel and click the bell for notifications. That takes skill. And this next year, that's on the bucket list of something that I'm demanding that Carol and I get good at. We're getting the Dutch oven back from Mom. She said that I didn't throw it away. She saved it from the dump. So I still have my Dutch oven. It's at Mom's. I'm going to grab that back. I'm hoping Nathan can bring that up here. And we're going to get started this next year on getting back into the outdoor, when we go picnicking using that Dutch oven. D-Lo's in the house. There's another channel you need to try out. D-Lo has a different kind of channel than all of us. His channel, he's trying to do the old school thing. And D-Lo, I was telling him earlier, the only thing I would say is you got to do your tags, man. You got to do your tags. You got to do your descriptions. But still, on that channel is that what I love about it, he's got an eagle on there. That's the last thing he posted. It is the coolest eagle. I haven't seen an eagle since I went to Parksville Lake with D-Lo. We saw an eagle that day, if I'm not mistaken. And fun day too. But we saw it. I think that was the day. I can't remember. But he saw an eagle out at Tellico. He captured it. But his channel, they do 30-second bites, on his channel. And so it's really cool. You don't have to invest a whole bunch of time in it. Check that out when you can as well. Dennis Jackson says, just subscribe to Strong's Adventures. Found out he's a camper. Yes, he is down in Louisiana. I keep saying Texas, but it's Louisiana. I finally got it right. D-Lo, your channel ain't gonna grow till you do tags, my man. I love you. Everybody, would y'all please help me? Tell David to do his tags, please. Please help me, because David's hard-headed. He won't listen. David said, I've been watching the Eagles for a while. Don Henley, let God rest his soul. Take it easy, all that stuff. Nobody's going to join me on the Eagles. Come on now. David had us going. Oh, Leah Golston's in the house. Leah Golston says, hey. Hey, how you doing, Lee? Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know how. Did you guys get your channel up and running? Because I haven't got notifications for anything, Lee. If you have, let us know so we can at least push it on here. It's good to see you as always. Glenn Fry. David said, not trying to grow a channel. Yes, you are. Quit it. Strong's Adventure says, D-Lo, I saw that you had 2 new videos and just haven't gotten around to see them yet. And I'll tell you what I like about what David's doing there is it's my stomping grounds. And East Tennessee is special. Western North Carolina there, that's a special place, guys. It's wonderful. Lee, you got to do your tags. It made a difference in my channel.
These stubborn people.
These stubborn people are being like I was. I was like that the first 2 years. I didn't care. It's like, I ain't doing tags. The year I did tags is when, like, boom, we started making money. That's all I'm saying. Is like, you got to do that. Lee says, yes, we do. And she changed her story. It's like, yes, we do. I'm kidding. I'm just playing. So how do your families do at Christmas? Like, for instance, the conversation we're having right now, I haven't seen D-Lo in a long time. And it's possible that D-Lo get together and we talk about Christmas chaos, and you haven't been together. We're old friends. We've been friends 20 years now. But we don't know each other. There's new boundaries. David has probably established. There's new boundaries I've established. So when you get back together at Christmas or some other event, you can tell where that can be difficult because one person be like, don't talk to me that way. And the other person's like, what am I doing? I'm just being me. So working those things out, the expectation level, you have to lower the expectation and say, you know what, this person may not have grown or maybe you haven't grown. You have to accept that too. It's another thing I had to accept is letting other people grow, going, man, maybe they don't, maybe they're just different now. Chill. Big Frog Barbecue Cookie said, what are tags? I don't know. I don't know. Tags and your SEO, which is another curveball for YouTubers. Strong's Adventure says, Dennis Jackson, thanks so much. We haven't gotten to do much of it. No, you have not made as many videos this year, Billy. You haven't. I'm disappointed in you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing. I'm just totally kidding. Totally kidding. Dennis Jackson said, we haven't either. Juan Thomas says, yeah, Billy, you need to make us all cinnamon rolls for Christmas in your Dutch up. Yes, he does, because you saw that episode too, didn't you, Juan? That was the episode that I wanted to just go, okay, I quit. I'm never trying to cook again. We cheated tonight cooking. It was my turn. And for people who cook, this is cheating. For other people, this isn't cheating. But we made steakums. I made Phillies, using steakums, peppers and onions and a mayonnaise mix and, bread, Swiss cheese. It was good. Too greasy. And I don't know why it was too greasy. I could not get all of the grease out of the steak. And I was worried that if I drained it again, the steak would disappear because it's steakums, You know what I'm saying? The best steakum you'll ever have is if you get like sirloin shredded up. Like you get it shredded like a steakum, and it really works out well. I've only had that one time, though. Lee said, we don't do tags. Yes, we do have our channel up and running. Well, Lee, post a link there because I don't think I've seen it lately. I haven't gotten anything on it is what I'm asking. I'd love to check it out and just enjoy just commenting back and forth. It'd be great. D'Lo said, most don't know what SEO is. Well, it's a SEO. Do you know what a SEO is? No, I'm kidding. Reclaim your life. My favorite part of Thanksgiving was asking my teenager nieces open-ended questions about their lives. Young people long for connection. Funny story. I connected with, he's a son to me. He's a son. He's one of my son's very, very best friends. Like very best friend. Like, you have 3 or 4 best friends that this is like brotherhood. And I love this kid so much. And he called today. He's in the Army and he FaceTime today. And I don't know, we talked for over an hour. And I just listened. And that did more help than anything that I could say to him. He's got a young family. He's got a little baby. And just listening to him and just serving him softballs just to go with. It does more for him than anything else. Now, instruction is important. There are certain phases in our lives when we're young, though, that instruction is important and you have to know your role. And in some cases with young people, my role is to provide instruction. In others, it's just to shut up and just listen. In any case, I want to do what God has instructed me to do in all of those cases. Strong's Adventure says, at Bill Marion. Maybe, just maybe, I like how he's got that, at Bill Marion in red. Maybe you could do a video on how to do tags and what an SEO is. I thought about that. Okay. And I'm turning red internally if I'm not externally. Because if I'm doing it, there's an art to tags. Like there really is. And sometimes I've nailed it. Sometimes I haven't. And even when I nail it, I'm not sure that it's right. I just know certain videos that went nowhere will go somewhere when you retag them correctly. But I've also done that and they go nowhere. There's some videos like the one I released today. There's no reason why it doesn't have 130 views. That's what we tap out at most of the time, unless it's a facts video or whatever. But our audience, our faithful audience, I know that I'm not going to hit the YouTube main pages all the time. I'm 47 years old and I don't have a drone and I'm not Casey Neistat, And so I accept that's fine. You stay in your lane and enjoy your lane. But I don't understand that. Usually it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, but my tags are hot. They're great. So I don't understand that. So what I'm planning on doing, Billy, just because you said that now, because I thought about this, I use TubeBuddy, and I recommend TubeBuddy to all YouTube creators. I had a link with them. I just haven't gone back to replace it in all my descriptions and stuff. But go to TubeBuddy. It's $9 a month. It's nothing, and you get all kinds of stuff to make your life easier, especially if you're starting out a channel. But more than anything, you get an evaluation on your tags, and that's wonderful. As far as are these tags, but just because you get 100. On the tag, let's say your score is 100 on each tag, does not necessarily mean that tag is a great tag. You have to pay very close attention. What's its strength? What's its search strength? There's different strengths there. And if nobody is searching for that term, because one day I was just patting myself on the back until I discovered this feature, because all my tags were just 100, 100, 100 until I looked down and I hit another button I'd never hit before. And it was basically how often that is searched. And the score went from 100 all the way down to like 20. Nobody's searching that term. So it's that kind of thing. But that's a great idea, Billy. And I'm actually, now you've got me thinking about it. But I want to go through TubeBuddy and make sure, connect with them and make sure I got everything right. Strong's Adventure says, TubeBuddy is another good tool to have. Yes, it is. At Strong Search Engine Optimization. Yeah. Reclaim your life. Get a drone, Papaw. I've thought about it. The problem is they're passing laws faster than I can look for a drone and buy a drone. I went to buy a drone 2 years ago, and they passed a law that is now being enforced. You cannot fly a drone in the national forest. The law was older than that, but now they're enforcing it. And if you put a video up in the national forest, they will flag your video. It may take a few months, but you get in trouble for that. They're also passing laws right now about videoing in national forest, period, which is wrong. And I'm not getting into that on this channel, but that's wrong. I understand the drone thing a little. It's not like when a drone crashes, it's going to make an explosion. You know what I'm saying? So I've got my concerns about the drone, but if the National Forest wants to make money, but anyway, I need to hush. Strong's Adventure says that was the cool thing about going to YouTube meetups. You can get lots of great tips. The more YouTube people I meet, the better. I missed a meet and greet with the Yankee. What's the name of the channel? Yankees in the South. I missed a meet and greet with them in Pigeon Forge that I was invited to back in 2018. I was at a ministers conference. I was even there in Pigeon Forge while the meet and greet was, and somebody invited me, and I blew it off. Big mistake. Big mistake. Let's not get into that. Yeah, let's not. Strong's Adventure says, yep, if you use a drone on YouTube, you have to have an FAA license. Yeah. And it's like, do I really want to go through all that? Sometimes I think I should. And then sometimes I'm like, nah. I was like, I ain't doing all that. I'm not getting into all that. And then sometimes I think it would be awesome. So when somebody sees awesome footage, on some channel, we often want to duplicate that. And, I watch Casey Neistat just for the way that he frames things and does things, and it's amazing, and so you want to do some of the stuff that he does, but am I going to go as far as getting an FAA license or whatever it is? Is it FAA license? Yeah, that's the thing. If you make any money using it, and I'm convinced, I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm convinced that I probably could, and like make more money by using a drone, or could I? I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys with YouTube stuff all night. Sitting here talking about YouTube, it falls into Bigfoot, aliens. We probably lost most of our people tonight going, why are they talking about YouTube analytics all night? Because we got 5 YouTubers in here. So it's like immediately start talking shop. Here's what I know is that everybody has their thing that they do. There's certain things that I look at people and go, hey, you need to do that because I like what you're doing. You got a great idea, big dummy, but act like a know-it-all and humble yourself and listen instead of acting like you've been there and done that. Then there's some people that I go, wait a minute, they've got 40,000 subscribers and they're not doing anything. Good for you, but you need to do something. If you're a YouTuber, do what works, but do what works. But until what you have is really working, then do the hard work. That's one of the reasons why I love Toby's channel, Reclaim Your Life. It's one of my favorite reasons I love his life, or I love his life too. He's a friend of mine. That I love his channel and what they're doing. He's doing the heavy lifting to make the channel great and doing the study, not just for me, but he has many contacts that he works with. He teaches me stuff and he's brand new. That's one of the reasons why I absolutely love what they're doing. They're doing it right. And I'm convinced that channel, if they stay with it and God has them still at the plow, that channel is going to have 25, 30,000 viewers, I would say within the next 18 months. I believe that with all my heart. They're doing all of the necessary things. Big Frog Barbecue and Cooking says my other channel has 3 videos and 11 views. I'm not doing something right. I love Big Frog makes the funniest comments. His timing is perfect. Big Frog Barbecue and Cooking, my other channel, has 3 videos and 11 total views. I'm not doing something right. You got to upload regularly, like every day, or that was the other thing I did wrong is I was uploading all over the place. Like I upload 4 videos in 1 week and then skip like a month and a half. You can't do that. You could do that on YouTube, but the algorithm, they want consistency, knowing when you're going to upload. Like, Vlogmas can mess you up. Matter of fact, there's all kinds of arguments about doing what I'm doing right now. I wanted to do this, but whatever. Reclaiming Your Life says family dynamics, how to get along with dysfunction. Go. Okay, I'm going to go with you here. My theory on how to get along with dysfunction is learning to put duct tape on your mouth and not talking. And if you can't put duct tape on your own mouth, put duct tape on their mouth, tie their hands up, and put them in the basement. Does that work? Maybe. Strong's Adventure says, but there is no law that says you can't tie a GoPro to a 20-foot tall toe and get those great drone shots. Yeah, you can. You can do that. I did something one time where I started in the grass and I took my camera up just like a drone would. It's in one of my Skyline Drive videos from 2018. Don't remember which one. And just made it look, because we were over like a bluff and stuff, and kind of pushed out. And then when I did the editing, I started zooming out and then to the right, then back to the right, then back to the left. My best friend Nathan, you guys have heard me talk about him before. He called me. He was like, "Did you buy a drone?" He was convinced. He was like, "Dude, that was a drone." Nathan was the first friend that I had that watched, that gave me so much loving support. I didn't tell any of my friends or in extended family and most church people. I didn't tell anybody. The first 18 months I had a channel because I didn't want the negativity, smart aleck remarks. I didn't feel like hearing that junk. And we do enough of that in life. So I don't spend a whole lot of time with people who put people down all the time. It gets old. It's like, I want to say, you're not in 8th grade anymore, you know? So I don't do that anymore. But my friend Nathan, who we've been friends since we were 12 years old, he had watched every video and I had no idea. And it was the best feeling in the world to know that my best friend actually saw my YouTube videos and watched every one of them. It was just kind of quietly in the background, you know, and he commented. I found out because he commented on one of my videos. I was like, holy cow, it's Nathan. It was so awesome. Dennis said, ha, 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 I like it. Well, listen, guys, this has been a crazy video because I hadn't planned on talking about YouTube. And I have a feeling, though, that now watch how this is going to work. Reclaim your life. You need to talk about this in one of your next videos. Watch how this works. We talked about something controversial. It was controversial. We talked about family dynamics, right? We talked about getting along, lowering expectations, duct tape, all that stuff, okay? Now watch how this works. There will be a weirdness after you even have the discussion about confrontation. Trust me. Big Frog says, I need to try that. The duct tape, yes, it works. I do. I imagine, I tell my oldest daughter this all the time. I imagine that I've got duct tape on and I can't talk or my lips are locked, because it's better to just listen, even if it stings a little bit, because I don't have to see or talk to him for another 6 months and I'm enjoying it. And this is the best pudding I've ever had. You know, think about the food. Or don't go around them again, whatever the case is, but it's better than losing your cool at a function. There's kids there. It's Christmas, all that kind of stuff. Reclaim Your Life says, I tried. Oh, well, 3-mile trail run with GoPro or Chinese knockoff. If you don't want to experience life, watch YouTube too much. Exactly. I always tell people that my channel is to motivate them to do more in nature, only to go back and realize, like, some of my, people that watch all the time, I want to say, hey, I understand that. I love it that you're watching my videos, but I hope I'm motivating you to get out. Like Juan Thomas has stories. He goes out and does stuff all the time. So I'm hoping that people aren't living vicariously through our videos sometimes, like I've been doing with Billy's videos. With Strong's Adventures, I'm always doing that with Strong's Adventures videos. I'll watch him cook, but then I don't go get my Dutch oven. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. Dennis Jackson says, I was told years ago that if you have family or friends that you can't get along with, don't get around them. I agree. You love them. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means that you're both traveling down train tracks. Maybe you're even heading to the same destination, but you're not on the same train tracks. DJ I is just now joining us. DJ, hello again. Billy says, love them from a distance. Always good. It was so awesome. And I talked about this in another live stream last night. It was so good to run into DJ, who I used to know as DJ Productions. He had another YouTube channel. I think he's been with us since 2017, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of our first subscribers. DJ, I was thinking about this. You subscribed to our channel back, I think, when we only had like 50 or 100 subscribers. We definitely weren't monetized yet, or if we were, we lost it when they changed the rules or something. And you were still with us. So I'm so grateful that you're still watching our videos. You got to comment more, man, so that I know you're there. I was like, where did he go? But it's so great to see you. And yeah, we're still at it. I think these days I make YouTube videos for 2 reasons. One, it's relaxing to edit. I love editing. And number 2, I continue to make videos. It does bring in a little extra income. It's not much, but it's something. And the other reason is you guys like them and we get to talk. You get to know people you didn't know from other places. I've enjoyed getting to know Billy and Juan. And I can keep naming people or reconnect with people like Dennis and Toby's in there. I could just keep naming names. I don't want to miss a name, but that's one of the main reasons too. Is you go, oh, Billy just posted a video. I need to post a video, like that kind of thing. Billy and I were supposed to do a live stream together, or something together. And I was telling him last night, Billy, that I don't know how to do a live stream at the same time. So if you need to do one of those, and we need to do a live stream together. That would be so much fun. And if you're interested, but I know we were going to do a video together. Strong says, DJ and I were just talking about drones. And by the way, Billy at Strong's Adventures is a pretty good person. He knows YouTube way better than I do. The guy's been around a long time, so that's a guy that's willing to talk to you, willing to give advice. I had to call Billy one time about, was it my ham or my turkey, or what was it? Do you remember, or was it a lamb? I can't remember now. I don't know if Billy was the one that told me to cook the ham in Coca-Cola or what. All I know is that it was really good, whatever it was. I did cook my last ham, which was last Christmas, wasn't it? Which we need to go buy tomorrow sometime. We need to do that. Oh, my goodness. I did not know that DJ had a baby.
He said, my girl just had a newborn baby. I have crazy baby hours.
Oh, my goodness. Congratulations, DJ. Congratulations. Excellent. Yeah, Strong's Adventures, the Coca-Cola ham, best ham ever. So when DJ's baby gets older, DJ, you need to make her a ham with Coca-Cola. I'm trying to wrap all these conversation threads together. There's nothing better than Coca-Cola ham. I'm telling you, it was wonderful. Everybody in the house liked it. Everybody in the house. Well, listen, guys, I've been on here an hour. I don't want to take any more of your time. I've so enjoyed talking to you guys, talking shop with you. Of course, I'll be on here tomorrow night. You guys can continue talking. If you think our conversation should go on longer than an hour, send me a message or something, or comment on one of our videos and let us know if you guys think we should go another hour. I think it would help me if I had a guest to be able to do that. That way I don't have to feel like I'm always taking dead air and talking. So if we had some kind of a guest to help us out, that'd be great. Reclaim Your Life is saying that babies are the best thing in life, better than Coca-Cola ham. I don't know about that, Toby. It depends on the kid. Sometimes my kids are better than Coca-Cola ham. No, I'm playing. Big Frog says, go as long as you want. It's what happens, Big Frog. I'll tell you what happens. It's not running out of steam. It's making sure that it's still entertaining and whatnot, in some form. I would love, Toby, it'd be awesome if you were a guest. I would love that. And we need to do, if I can figure out how to do share a screen or whatever, and you can interview people and talk and make jokes and be ridiculous. I think that would be awesome. It would be awesome to schedule it for how long. You have a guest for this long and you have a guest for this long. That would be really cool. I need a band because talk show hosts have bands. So we need a virtual, what do you think? We need a virtual band. I'm going to pick up Roots. Jimmy Fallon has a great band. Roots, they're awesome. Hey, 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 hey. StreamYard. I do not know what StreamYard is. I do not know what that means.
Program for multi-person video.
What is it?
It's a program for multi-person video.
Ah, so I got to buy something. God, I'm always having to buy something, man. No, that's all right. Hey, guys, I'm so grateful that you've been a part of this tonight. I am going to go and look up some stuff for our journey tomorrow. I'll be looking for a video tomorrow night, looking for a live stream tomorrow night. Same time, 9:30 p.m. That's when we start. We'll try to even go later. If you guys show up, we'll try to even go later. And I am put Carolyn on as a guest. Carolyn.
No.
I told you it was coming.
No.
I told you it was coming.
No.
Carolyn will be here tomorrow night at 9:30. We got to get her on here. Big Frog says, I think they have a free version. I will check it out. It's called Yard. Don't forget that for me. And Carolyn and I will be here tomorrow night. I'll have her here beside me on the screen. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys take it easy. Peace. You're going to be on here tomorrow night.
No.